Hi, welcome back to One Dish, Two Ways. Where are we, Joe?
We're at Argyle State Park, Illinois.
And why are we here?
I don't know.
Welcome to our video. I know we're in a different setting for you all, but we have had some questions about, okay, so you make this work during the week. What do you do when you travel or when you do other things? So we thought it'd be helpful to actually talk to you from the campsite, except there won't be any cooking. It's more about why we're not cooking. So we love to camp. We find it very relaxing, and we want to expand upon that. So we bring a lot of food already cooked or ready to go, and that's what we're going to show you today. And then this trip's very short. We actually are with a pop-up group in Illinois, and so there's a potluck tonight, and so there's not as much eating like when we went to Michigan and we were there for a week. So it was a quick trip, but we want to show you how we make this super simple for us, because we'd rather be hiking or walking or playing with the dog or boating or kayaking. So this is leading into the examples of our convenience foods. So Joe, you start with yours.
So we always talked about, if you're going to cook extra and freeze it or whatever. And you've seen us do some prepared meals where I put them in the containers, such as this here. And this is just one of the containers. What we do is, when we come camping, all these frozen containers go into the cooler or into our refrigerator, and we take them with us, but they're frozen. So when we get to our campground or campsite, whatever, and maybe 2, 3, 4 hours later, these things are still rock solid cold. And over the course of the couple days or the week, we actually will pull these out, or they'll thaw out in the refrigerator over the course of time. Then we can just pop them in the microwave, heat them up, and there's not a lot of time spent cooking while we're camping. One of the other activities is, we'll go ahead and we like cooking our bacon. I think you've seen us do it maybe once, where I sheet pan cook it in the oven. Well, you can cook 12, 13, 14 slices, and always put a little bit aside in the freezer. And then when we go camping, I got pre-cooked bacon. All I got to do is just throw it on the griddle, or we can just throw it in the microwave, heat it up, fry up the eggs, and throw some toast on the griddle or in the air fryer. And I've got anything from breakfast bowls to bacon egg sandwiches to fried eggs and bacon with potatoes, because we can pre-cook the potatoes as well, and then just stir fry them real quick and brown them up, and voila, you got a meal.
So how do we cook them? What do we have in our RV that lets us cook quicker if it's raining and we can't cook outside?
I call it the micro oven, and it's basically a 3-in-1. When we bought the camper, we bought it used, and it came with a little, very, very inexpensive microwave. It didn't have any options, buttons, or anything like that. It was,
and the tray there was like at the bottom of the tray, one of the arms. So it never, every time it tried to turn, it'd go clunk, clunk, clunk. So yeah, that was not an option.
So we went out and we went to Walmart, bought a, I call it, like I said, the micro oven. It's a microwave, it's an air fryer, and it's an actual convection oven. So you can do multiple things, which is what camping is all about. Is if you have something in your camper, or whether you tent camp or you have a full-size RV, you better be able to use it in more ways than one. Otherwise, you're just going to run out of space. There's a lot of flies out.
Yes, this is a very buggy park. It's very natty, so excuse us while we do this, but it's good.
We also got a fan blowing over here to
help
move the air to kind of stir it up. But, between the, we always go to state parks. They typically always provide a fire pit with a grill on top, so I can do a lot of if I want to cook a burger or steaks out on the grill, we have that option at nighttime. During the day, we'll get up, do breakfast. When we're out on the road during the day, sightseeing or fishing or whatever we're doing, that's when we'll pack a lunch. And a lot of these you can take, I can pull out like the bacon. I can make BLTs, or I can make simple, good old peanut butter and jellies, or whatever the case might be that you like. Throw some chips in a bag with some cooler, and we're out on the boat or wherever we are. Nighttime when we're back, even then we try to downsize the cooking process. This should be simple. Whether you're cooking for just you or yourself or a family of 6, it shouldn't be mom and dad in the kitchen all night cooking and cleaning up. We do use plasticware, but it's very simple. It's microwave safe. We can just wipe them off, wipe them out, do the dishes, let them air dry, and voila, we're ready to go for the next day.
Yeah, not throwaway plastic. It's like, it's good for like the RV because it's not going to break or do anything. Yeah.
So it really works out good for that kind of thing. So back to what we were talking about.
We have visitors, which is why we're here.
So yeah, this is what camping's all about, is, you get to meet your neighbors and what have you, and people you never met, or people from other areas that come in to camp. And, you never know when people are going to show up, or you go walking around and you visit with them. But one of the other things to kind of talking about, giving some more examples on what I do when we come out here. A good example is the other night, Sheila got home a little late after she went to work, and then she went shopping. She got home, and I had pulled out a bunch of meat that I was planning on for the weekend out of the freezer, and she went ahead and cooked up my little slider burgers, and she put cheese on them. She cooked up some chicken thighs. She cooked up what was the other thing you had on there? It was
a steak.
And so I ate the steak for dinner that night. And the other stuff we just packed away in separate containers, and they came down with us. And so I came down yesterday, I set up, got everything ready, and Sheila was still at work. So I had lunch by myself here. I had some the chicken thighs, and I had some fruit and what have you with it. And it was simple for me. All I had to do is heat it up in the microwave, and it was ready to go. And then last night for dinner, what did we have last night for dinner?
I wasn't here. I was still on my way here.
That's right. So I think I had the other piece of chicken, and I had some chips with it. And then this morning we got up. I had some of the pre-cooked bacon. Sheila brought over fresh eggs yesterday, and so this morning I fried up a couple of eggs to put on there. I had some bread, and I made bacon egg sandwiches. And then today for lunch, I had the other 2 sliders that I had in a container. So every meal we've had so far has taken us probably less than 5 minutes to prep, have it on the table, and we're sitting here eating. So, it's simple. It's easy to do it and be fast and not spend a lot of time with cleanup and doing the other part.
Because we like to cook. I mean, you know that from our videos, but that doesn't mean it's not helpful to have a break every once in a while. And for me, to make sure I plan to have food so I don't eat something that is not towards my health goals is very important. So,
and today we went into town at the local town here.
But I had a snack.
And we were getting hungry. We could have easily stopped at any of the fast food places or a Mexican restaurant. We passed 2 of those, but we knew we had our food here. We just came back, and we were sitting down eating in just a few seconds and enjoying our lunch, and now we're done. And of course, we took this time to make the video, and then come this afternoon we're going to do another hike, probably walking around the campground and checking some other areas out. Get Basil out for another quick walk.
She's back there. I'm not sure if y'all can see her. She's chilling in the shade.
But and it's not bad weather. I think it was about 53, 54 this morning when we got up. It'll probably be mid to high 70s over the course of the day today. But, as you can see, there's lots of shade around, so it's not uncomfortable other than the gnats being a little annoying. But other than that, it's been...
talk about mine?
Yep.
Okay, so let's talk about what I do, but a lot of the things I do is for both of us. So I always bring fruit anytime we go anywhere. I do stick generally to the standards, the apples, the clementines, the bananas, and grapes, because they're the easiest and they're very portable. So like an apple, we take these when we go out into town, go hiking or whatever. Clementines, of course, are super easy to peel. Bananas, and then I get the grapes and I wash them and I go ahead and take them off of the stems, and then I put them in these reusable silicone bags. It's also the bag that Joe had. We get them in different sizes. I do not put raw meat in them because I'm not sure I can clean them good enough. But these are, I like these because they're slim, so they fit in the cooler easier than a dish does, and in the fridge, so it saves us space. Or if we wanted to put something freezer-ish, we do have a very small freezer. You see a small fridge back there, but that's just for drinks. We have more like a dorm size one inside the RV, and so these bags really help. And every morning I make a fruit salad for both of us. So I make sure we get our fruit in at least breakfast and lunch. So that, and I keep one of the, this is like plastic, I don't know what you call this. Yeah, this is, and these are microwavable, safe and everything. And I just use one to keep the fruit in. For me, every morning I have oatmeal, and I usually make overnight oats because it's so simple. I can put a recipe in the comments, but this one's blueberry. So it's got blueberries and the non-dairy milk, flaxseed, oats, and cinnamon. And then I just warm this up in one of these bowls, add in all my fruit. We took pictures of all this and we're hoping we can put it in the video and show you, but that's generally what I have for breakfast. Sometimes I'll dump this in a oven safe dish and then I'll bake it in the convection oven part and have more like a baked oatmeal. But right now, because it's so warm out, this works perfect. Then for lunches, I bring that what he has, but I also love to make these mason jar salads. This one is what I call peanut curry. It's chickpea peanut curry spring roll salad. And the reason I say that is I love spring rolls, but I have a hard time with those spring roll papers and rolling them up and them not sticking. So I just make it into a salad. So Plant Strong makes a peanut curry sauce mix, and so I just add aquafaba to it instead of the water, and chickpeas. So that's what's here on the bottom. These are the Lotus Foods ramen noodles, and then it's carrots and cucumber and bell pepper and green onions and cabbage. And then anytime you make a mason jar salad, you want your liquid here at the bottom, and then you stack it up, and then when you go to dump it and put it on your plate, you could, if you had a smaller one, you could just like stir it up and eat it out of here, but it won't work because this is too long and I don't have anything that goes that far down. But then this is easy. Turn it over and you can do this concept with any amount of vegetables and proteins and beans. So I will link a couple of those things in the comments. And for snacks, I always have, you can see I reuse jars from other things that we bought. This is just nuts, no salt added, and then some freeze-dried strawberries. And that way I can have a handful of this if I need a snack in the afternoon or take it on a hike with us. I also always have these are very affordable. Portable is the tomatoes. Just pop them in your mouth. And then just to make sure I have greens on everything, I always have some container of greens. And then last but not least is my old favorite trick, and that is a baked potato. This is a raw potato, and because we have the microwave in the camper, prick, 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 put it in there for 5-6 minutes, however long you want, and you've got instant dinner. Tonight's a potluck with this group, so I made a batch of baked beans, which you should see the video before this, right? But we'll also link it down below. And that way there's just regular beans, there's no meat in it, and I will be able to have that. I will also take a cooked baked potato with me and some greens and tomatoes, and that way I have food no matter what else is there. Because if I don't do that, I might have something that is not going to help me in my health journey. Of course, we always have a choice of what we can eat, but I'm choosing to eat this way to cure my... And
there's a good chance there'll be other foods that she'll be able to eat. I know
somebody's making salsa, so I'm looking forward to that.
But, you know, you got to cover your base and make sure you're good. It just makes it simple. Even when we go to potluck, I don't care what kind of diet you're on, everybody has their way they like food, and there's... You know, I enjoy potato salad, but there's only a certain way I like my potato salad. Yeah. And a lot of people kind of take that boundary a little too far for me, but doesn't mean that I won't at least give it a shot. But, you know, you always got to make sure there's something there for you that you can enjoy. Right.
So I think that about covers it. So we want to know, do you like to camp? And if you do, you can share a comment about what's your favorite quick and easy meal that you make, or maybe your biggest tip or a recipe, or just show us a picture of your camper. That's clearly ours in the background. We are truly getting to know it and finding a way to get it set up for us. This is 4th camping trip in it, because we've only bought it last fall. So, and I will say, having that the microwave combo in there, we've had 2 camping trips this year so far. The very first night it rained. So had we not had a packaged meal, we would have been in trouble, because that really helped us. And then we were able to play cards in the RV and enjoy the rest of the night and not have to stress about what we were going to eat. So,
and camping is about, you know, you're going to find your own way when you're out and about, whether you are outdoors in a camper or you rent a cabin maybe. You got to find what works for you and fits your diet, fits your how you want to cook, because, you know, not everybody's into eating outside or what have you, but this does give us the option. We can eat inside, outside. We can cook either way, inside, outside. And then, you know, you can always take away. We can't, trying to remember, I think it was our last year trip. It was our first trip outing, and we actually rented a camper because we weren't sure if we were going to really like it or not. And one night we found out through, I think, a car drove by, and it was a pizza delivery.
This was like, pre my whole food plant-based journey.
Well, no, I thought we did try to do one that had like half and half your way you liked it.
Maybe it did. Maybe it did.
And it was funny because the driver showed up and he dropped off our pizza there at the campground, and the people right across the way had a pizza delivered, and he brought both pizzas at the same time. So you never know what you're going to have
at that campground. Yeah. So, excuse me, got a little bug in there. So thank you all for joining us, and we will be camping in a few weeks, and our video is going to be foil packet meal on the grill, which is by far one of my favorite things when we camp, because you can put so many things in the foil packet and just let it cook, and we just can sit and watch it cook. So we'll be doing that in an upcoming video. So if you like what you see, if you could like and subscribe, and let us know in the comments, are you a camper and what's your favorite recipe? Have a good day.